Welcome back. So, from the producers of Judge Judy, Hot Bench adds a whole different twist to the court game. It's the first ever 3-judge panel, and you're in the chambers with them as they deliberate. Joining us now are judges Patricia DiMango, Tanya Acker, and Michael Corriero. So, everyone, congratulations on your first season. First up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys have a whole lot going on. You know, what situation are we going to run into with a college professor and, of course, a student?
Well, this is a case that really cuts to the quick of issues that are pertinent to a lot of people. We have a student who sued his professor because he took issue with the fact that the professor was doing a lesson about the Kardashians, specifically Kim Kardashian going to law school. The professor thought that he was discussing Kim Kardashian in inappropriate terms, which sort of led to a confrontation. The professor countersued the student for making threats and allegedly stalking and harassing him on other campuses. So it really kind of cuts right to a lot of what people are concerned about. What we're allowed to say and how and when we're allowed to say it.
And this individual, the student, was really trying to control what went on in the classroom when the professor had selected this, one, because it was appropriate to the subject matter that he was teaching, which was about the law, and also because he knew it was going to spark an interesting conversation and some debate.
Yeah, and I think the issue of the debate and its pedagogical impact in the classroom was kind of underlying all of this, because what is civil behavior in the classroom, and what are the appropriate boundaries of discussion? And I think you'll find that the plaintiff and the defendant had extremely different views on what was appropriate or not.
Well, Michael, you just touched on something that I wanted to ask you about in broader terms, too. Some of these plaintiffs or defendants who come to you, you know, do you ever want to just say, like, if you use some common sense, like, maybe, for instance, there's
oh, you mean, do I ever want to jump down off the bench and grab them and push them around? Yes, of course. Sometimes it's astounding. I mean, how do you explain the obvious to someone who doesn't immediately grasp it? And I think that's been a challenge on occasion for us with respect to some of the litigants.
Okay, and I know that you have a lot of really great cases that you've been going through for this new season. You know, can you give us a quick rundown on some of the other things you review in a new case?
Well, on Wednesday, we have another case which really, it almost offends society's norms of what children and fathers and parents should be about. It's involving a father who rents a home for one evening through Airbnb, allegedly telling the owner of this $3 million home that the purpose of this was so he could have 2 other couples over for dinner and maybe a couple of his son's friends. His son is just graduating as a junior from high school. But lo and behold, what this really was a full blown out massive party for these high school kids who trashed this woman's $3 million home. The father's defense, I know, it makes you never want to rent your home out through Airbnb, but the father's defense here was, well, I really didn't know we were going to have a party like this. Meanwhile, he had bouncers and liquor, and I was just unbelievable, lighting, and he said, and even if we did have a little more than we expected, like 100 people instead of just 3 couples, we didn't really trash. The place wasn't trashed to the extent that she was claiming. But we saw some photos, as the audience will see as well.
Well, I hope that they had insurance. Judges, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Belinda.
Thank you, Belinda.
Have a good day.
Good day. How much time do we have?
So don't miss the cases, the arguments, and of course the verdicts. Hot Bench sizzles weekday afternoons at 3 and 3:30 on our sister station, KSMO.